Hey y'all, it's Elise. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm talking about my 2024 net worth update. It's a new year, so that means it's new money, and calculating my net worth in January is one of my favorite things to do. It's like one of the perks of the new year is I've waited this whole last year. I haven't checked with my numbers like physically and concretely. I have an idea in my head, but I don't go down to jot and pen and paper like everything until January. So it's like a treat after the new year, like, oh, now I can calculate my net worth and see where I'm at. So in the beginning of this video, I'm going to talk about like the actual numbers. Then I'm going to go into comparison of this year to last year and even like when I first started. And the last part, I kind of want to talk about some trends that I see that are good and not so good. So let's get into the numbers. And then ultimately, so what is a net worth? So net worth is calculating all your assets, which bring money to you every month somehow. And you're calculating all your liabilities, which are things that take money from you every month somehow. And then you subtract the summation of both of those. And if you end up with a positive number, that means your assets are greater than your liabilities. And if you end up with a negative number, that means your liabilities are greater than your assets. And all of us want for it to be positive, which means that we're headed to a good financial foundation and money is not the bane of our existence. So particularly my numbers, I have to look at them, but for my house, the net worth that I had as of 2023 was $284,600, which went up. My car, which went down, is worth $9,000. My savings, which also went down sadly, is worth $20,000. My retirement is worth $216,800. Half of that is stock from an old company that I used to work for, and the other half is actually my 401k contributions. And historically, that has always gone up, both of them. So that's awesome. And then the last line item that I have are luxury items, and those are things like jewelry and luxury bags that I have. Good thing about both of those things is that you buy them for vanity, but them things either keep the value that you bought them for, or high key they increase in their value, which is like, now, yeah, that's what we're talking about. So my luxury items are valued at $5,000. Tally all those up, and we have $535,400 for my assets. Now, my liabilities have changed since last year. I really just have a mortgage now, thank God. So that's progress in itself, right? Because last year when I did the first video about like how you even do a net worth, and then I calculated it there for the first time online, was I had my student loans, which I paid off, I believe in I paid off December 22, and then 2022. And then I used to have a car loan, I paid that off this July. So the only thing I have is my mortgage, and it's actually two mortgages, but it's only one line item here, and that's $86,000. So $535,400 minus $86,000 leads me to a net value of 2024 of $449,400. So now let's compare that to last year. Last year, 2023 in January, my net worth was $360,000. So between now and then, it's like $70,000 to $80,000 increase, which is amazing, super exciting. But I don't think that's gonna happen next year, and I'll talk about it actually right now. A few things that I noticed about the trajectory that I have is, number one, this number, 449,000, is not as high as I thought it was gonna be. Because I did like a skim version in my head, probably in the middle of last year, and it was at like 450 already. So why is it pretty much the same as 6 months have already passed? I realized a couple things. So first of all, in that last video that I did, I didn't include my second mortgage because it's not really a big one, and that skewed my results. So I included it this year, which is more honest. Not that I was trying to lie to myself, I just forgot. But that's why my number's not as high as it used to be, one reason. And the second one is that I don't have that much savings anymore. I had like $30,000 worth of saving, and now I only have 10. And it's for a good cause, because it was able to transition me from my old job to my new job and my new trajectory in life. But, that means I don't have that much money. And I gotta report that in my net worth statement. All of that's okay, but that is why I had a hyper-inflated value in my head. But on that pen and paper, baby, it humbled me real quick and was like, I mean, you're doing good, but you're not doing what you thought you was doing. And that's the whole point of doing a net worth inventory with yourself, right? So you know where you stand, and like everything is clear. That's what a budget is for. That's what your net worth calculation is, to make sure everything is clear. So, all right, that's where I stand, and I'm happy with it. The other conclusion that I realized is that my net worth trajectory is going through a recalibration, because like I said earlier, in the years it has gotten higher, and it started to get higher at a steeper rate, right? So real quick, let me go through like the years. So the first year that I ever did it, once I found out it was a thing and I was really excited about it, I calculated all my assets, all my liabilities, and that thing came out to a whole $5,000. That's all I was worth. And I was like, well, damn, that's not a lot. But the people did tell me that if I kept doing it, the whole point is you should see it go up. And if you don't like it when you first start and it's a small number like $5,000, or God forbid it's negative, it's okay. Because when I first graduated school, I'm sure it was negative. I just wasn't calculating it at that point. Negative a couple $100,000 at that. So 2019 it was 5,000. 2020 it was 49,000. So that's awesome. 2021 it leaped over to over 100,000 at 136,000. 2022 it was 270,000, and 2023 it's 360,000. So now 2024 is 449. Those last 3 years, it's like going up 90,000, 70,000, 80,000. That's cool, but I don't think that's gonna happen anymore because I'm not making what I used to make. So that leads me to like, well, what can I do if it's likely that I can't do the 90 to 100,000 increase every year, right? I'm gonna make the personal goal to increase it by 50,000 a year. I think that is a healthy goal to have and a maintainable goal. Number one is I'm going to steadily put into my 401k. I just started with this first paycheck of the year last Friday. That was the first time I saw that thing come out my check. And I was happy. I was like, okay, we're starting this over again. Because I haven't been contributing to my 401k for like 6 months. So we're starting a new year, 2024, we're getting that thing back. As long as I keep doing that, with my company match and how the stock market increases generally 8 to 10% every year, that's gonna get me to my 50,000 a year, as well as the other thing that I plan to do is contribute to a brokerage account, which I talked about in another video like last month. I want to do that mainly to diversify my assets, but also it's only going to help more than likely over time, even if it's not this year, to help my net worth steadily go up. I don't think I'll lose money, significant money. It's possible, but I don't think I do. And I think those two things on top of having the real estate that I have will allow me to increase it by 50,000. Now, if I did none of that, my net worth is not gonna go up by 50,000. It may go up by 20,000 from like the real estate and the retirement stuff that I already have, but I wanna push it at least to 50,000 a year. That is going to mean that I'm not gonna get to $1 million net worth by my 40th birthday. If I stay with my job, I would have. But there are actions, there are consequences to your actions. And I don't see that as bad because I still feel like I'm winning because I'm gonna get there anyway. And when I get there, I will be there on my own terms and making money for myself and building a dream for myself instead of building a dream for somebody else, which would have depressed me into like forever. So I'm not doing that. So yeah, it's gonna take me longer, but the road less traveled always takes longer. And that's fine. So what about y'all? Do y'all, first of all, track your net worth? If you do, how long have you been doing it? If you don't, why don't you do it? Do you not see it as something useful to do? And if you don't, but you want to, let me know in the comments that you're gonna start to see like where you're at and if you're surprised at where you're at. Until then, I will see y'all next week for the next video, but I will see y'all hopefully next year to give y'all an update for us to see where we land in 2025. I'll see y'all next time. Talk to you later.